the first obvious question. How's the golf game?
It was really good today.
Was
Uh,
it?
it was really good today. Me and Coach Talsma played today, and we played out there at Bill Gray puts on the Birmingham FCA tournament.
Yeah.
Uh, I think we shot 10 under today, so it was fun. It was
Man.
it was fun. That just means I need to get back to coaching football.
Were you and Sean like were you carrying him? Was it a pretty even split?
No, Sean's a good player too.
Yeah.
I'm not a good player. Sean's a good player. We brother-in-law. It was a little scramble. It was fun. We had a really good time with it. So anytime I can get out there with him, I like to do it. Because
Yeah.
we're so busy, and now he's got two kids. I got two kids. We don't get to
Yeah.
do it like the boys did it. But it's fun, man. We make time for it, and I think that's important. We got a really good coaches group that we do that with. So we got the coaches cup next week. That's what we need to get you to do. You need
I
to
know.
we need to give you the invite to the coaches cup so you can just come and we can do this live with everybody.
I know. I've
Have a
heard
round
that
table.
from who all has told me that. I'm trying to think who all
So
from the
Mills is there, Stu's there, Talsman's
they've
there,
yeah.
uh, Eddie Wall's there.
Eddie.
So it's Kevin Connor, Jeremy Monso. It's
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
See, now that would be fun. I
Yeah,
forget which one of them. It might have been multiples of them. Told me like you need to come out and do it like and cover it like it's like a
yeah,
quote unquote like real event kind of
yeah.
thing, and like
It's fun, man.
push
We
some
have
content from it.
it's fun. We have a lot of fun with it. It's good.
Man, that's cool. So, well, because Stuart Floyd is a part of that group, I did one of these with him last year when he came back to Clay as offensive coordinator. So this was about this time a year ago, and he said John Rahm wins the Masters. About a week later, John Rahm won the Masters. And so, like, I know where we're recording this right now is right before U.S. Open at
Yeah,
Pinehurst.
yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, being a golf guy, who do you like?
Well,
That's
it's hard.
it's been weird when it's been at Pinehurst.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Well, you got to drive the ball so good.
Yeah,
And I think when you think about that, you got to think about Rory McIlroy and how well he drives the golf ball. You got to think about Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks
yeah,
Koepka.
yeah,
Those guys, they hit it a mile, but they also can get out of trouble really well. They scramble really well. Scotty Scheffler's hands around the greens are incredible. I think a wild card is a Max Homa.
I
Uh,
like it.
I like Max Homa a lot right now. I really like Thagala's playing really, really good right
Yeah, he
now.
is.
You wish somebody like a JT or a Spieth or somebody like that would just get up there and make it good for TV.
Yeah,
But those guys they're having kids now and families and like you can just tell like it's
yeah.
wild.
They're in the thick of it right now. Yeah,
Yeah, I love this. I love the U.S. Open. I think it's the best contest that they have all year,
yeah,
and it's one that anybody can play in. I mean,
yeah.
if I could never get it, but like I mean, I know people that have tried to qualify for it. I mean, that would just be. I mean, everybody's got a chance, man. As long as you got a two
So
handicap, you got a chance.
you got a chance.
So that I think that makes it really, really neat. But playing it at Pinehurst and it being kind of a historical place and a lot of
Mhm.
memories and things that have happened there for a lot of those
Yeah,
guys, it sets up good to their eye, and a lot of guys
yeah,
play good there. So it should be a lot
yeah.
of
It's been such a. I was looking just before we got on here. Like, it's been weird. Like the winners you get from there. Like, so like 2014, Martin Keimer wins
yeah.
it, and you're kind of like,
Who
okay.
is
I mean, I
Martin
know. I
Keimer?
know for a while he had a stretch where he
Yeah,
was unreal, but when you think of U.S. Open champions, Martin Keimer's pretty far down the list.
right.
But he wins it there. 2005, Michael Campbell edges out Tiger to win
Yeah,
it, and they're like, "What is Michael Campbell doing these days?" And then obviously 1999, Payne Stewart.
yeah. That's
Everybody knows
fun.
about that. Everybody knows that one.
Yeah,
But like, it's been kind of one of those where like some guys that you don't expect have won it, and I don't know if that's just, if back then, if Tiger didn't win it, it was just a random name,
Yeah.
or if it's something about that course or something. But I'm curious how it goes this time. Those names you mentioned,
Yeah.
uh, that would be hard to get away from any of those names, especially Bryson. I recorded one of these before the PGA with Garrett Johnston,
Yeah.
who do you follow Garrett Johnston, covers
Yeah.
PGA Tour?
Yeah. I know who he is. I don't know his dialogue every day, but I know who he is.
Sure. Yeah, and I mean we talked about Bryson at the Masters, and then obviously at the PGA. I think he's a guy right now, like you said, driving the ball and being able
Yeah.
to get out of that kind of trouble, and a little bit of a chip on the shoulder a little bit with this live, and seems
100%.
like he's maybe matured a little bit,
Yeah.
at least from the outside looking in. He seems like a guy that you couldn't go wrong
Well,
picking right now.
the U.S. Open to me is the one tournament that they play that you got to be able to be in a spot and say, okay, bogey's okay right now. Like
Yeah.
it's okay to make a bogey. So like, yeah, I could hit 6 iron out of the rough right here and try to run it up there and make a good number, or I could
Yeah.
just hit sand wedge out of here and then hit it again. And if I make par, great. If I make bogey, move on. But you got to stay away from big numbers. I mean, if you have a bunch of 6s and 7s on the scorecard, you're
Yeah.
going to get torched. I heard somebody say that on the golf channel yesterday. They were just talking about like if you play the U.S. Open and just have 5s or better, you're going to win
Yeah.
the tournament. Like
Wow.
you're going to win the tournament because nobody thinks about it. Like if you don't have
Yeah.
any 6s and 7s, you put yourself right up there in that tournament because that means you got a bunch of looks at birdie, bunch of looks at par. And that's how you got to play it. If you're trying to, it's not like Augusta where they can bomb it and still be in play and still go after it. Like
Yeah.
you can't do that in the U.S. Open because they put you in spots, and when you get penalized, it's bad.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
so I'm anxious to see it.
Me too. Well, that's it for this pocket. No, I'm just kidding. Let's talk about let's talk about football. Let's talk about
Yeah,
Springville. How do
yeah.
you feel like this last year win? I mean, that was Springville's first trip to the playoffs in what? I
15
think
years.
15 years. I was gonna say
Yeah.
I've got it pulled up somewhere here.
Yeah. Um,
2009.
yeah. So a great, great group of seniors and a great group of senior parents that really bought into what we were doing, believed in what we were doing, made it important to everybody else in our program. They really took that and ran with it. The guy that was my defensive coordinator last year, or has been the last 3 years, Matt Partridge, had a huge part in that,
Yeah.
in the weight room and things that we were able to do with the kids. But it was a great year. It was a ton of fun. But those first 2 things, just great senior leadership, great senior parent leadership. Like our parents, they were just terrific. And it made the job good. And having the staff that we had, I thought it was really, really good. There was some cool memories last year for sure. I tell people all the time, like I think about the Pell City game like it was yesterday, and how they were kind of getting on us a little bit before the game and a little trash talk here and there. And that's all fun, man. But our kids
Sure.
never flinched. They never flinched the whole game. And when it got into overtime, it was like, man, we're fixing to win. Like y'all should have won it when you had a chance. Like we're going to win now.
Yeah.
And to see the excitement on those seniors' faces to win on senior night and to have our fans there, and it was really, really cool. So
Yeah.
you know, that was probably one of the more fun years I've had coaching in a long time. But I'm excited about the group we got coming back. I think we got some good leadership in that senior group. Got some good players coming back, a lot of experience. So should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Those guys you've got coming back. How does that how does that, if any, how does a year like that where you make the playoffs for the first time in a long time, these kids haven't seen that growing up in
Uh,
Springville, and then they got to be a part of it. How does that propel them into this season, if at all?
uh, well, it starts with Jake Connors coming back at quarterback. That's huge. Um, that's the first thing I think about, and
Yeah.
then the next thing I think about is we're going to get Brady Seaman back from a knee injury last year. Talon Swallows is coming back on the O line. Landon McKendry's coming back on the O line. Jacob Riddle's coming back on the O line.
Wow.
Got some good young players coming O line wise. Uh, I'm just I'm excited about it. I think about guys like Jacob Adams, who's played a lot of football for us. You know, Cooper Tibbs has played a lot of football for us. We got a lot of experience coming back. Now, we're going to be a little thin at linebacker because we're losing some guys that have been there the whole time I've been there. And that makes it tough. But I think we got some good young players that are going to step in there. I really like our upcoming freshmen. I think they're a good unit to add to us. They were really good in middle school last year. Got a good quarterback, got some good linemen, got a good B back that can run it. It's exciting. And another thing too, Gary, and I don't know, maybe they get the hype sometimes. I don't know, but we got a really good kicker coming back. Patrick Williams he's a weapon for us. He's really good on the kickoff. He's really good on field goal. He's going to add punt to the repertoire this year. But he's probably, and I know this is funny. And he would get mad at me for saying this, but he's probably one of the most athletic kids on our team. And
Yeah.
like me and Partridge have been trying to get like, man, play receiver, play safety, he just likes kicking. But he's going to be the guy. I told him he's going to be the guy that goes to college and he's going to go to a fraternity and they're going to have the first 7-on-7 game and they're going to be like, damn, this dude could play. Like, like all you did was kick. Like you're the best player.
You sound like you might be setting up a nice little fourth down fake run
we
around
might
with
we
this
might have
kid.
something for Patty. But no, that's a good thing. And then Seth Jones, our long snapper, he's going to be back. So I mean, we got some good pieces coming back. All of our coaches are coming back except Matt. We're losing Matt, but he's got a good family thing going. We added a new offensive line coach, Matthew Lee. He's a Springville guy. He's coming back. He's been with Coach Hood at Leeds for the last couple of years. He's going to be a huge asset to us. And then I'm bringing Christian Depew back to be our defensive coordinator. He was with me my first year, and then he went to Homewood for the last 2 years. But that's Matt Partridge's cousin, so we're just keeping it in the family. We're just keeping them
To
all
say,
there.
is that another Hewitt kid?
Yes, it is.
I knew that last name.
He's awesome. He's a great teacher. We had to fill a bunch of shoes with Matt leaving, and we were able to get some of it with Christian, and then some more of it with kind of sprinkled out amongst the staff. But it's going to be exciting, man. I'm really looking forward to next Tuesday when all the kids show up and had a good break and get ready to go.
Yeah, I mean you can't go wrong with obviously Matt and the
Yeah,
lineage he comes from,
right.
his dad, David Partridge,
Yeah,
defensive coordinator forever at Hewitt.
yeah,
I can't imagine the things that Christian and Matt learned
yeah.
from him over the years.
100%.
I covered those teams forever back when he
Yeah,
was DC for Hal Riddle. So,
yeah, yep.
um, you've already mentioned some guys. Let's get into the schedule a little bit. I'm looking off screen at another one. So 5A Region 6 again this year. I'm just going to go down the list here alphabetically. So Centerpoint, Jacksonville, Leeds, Lincoln, Moody, Springville, St. Clair County. What do you make of that region?
Oh, I told Talsma I don't want to hear him gripe no more. I understand too, man. Like I'm in it too. I think about good players,
Yeah,
but better coaches.
yeah,
Um, there's some really good coaches in our region. I'm I'm at the bottom of that list, but you think about Coach Hood, you think about George Bates at center point. George Bates has been one of the I he's one of the best coaches in Birmingham, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I saw what it was like there before he got there, and what it's like since he's
Mhm.
been there, and the continuity and this just the overall development of the overall program.
Yep.
He's phenomenal, and he's always been a good
He
friend to
is.
me. I've always got huge respect for him. Uh, you know, T. Rob over at St. Clair County, he's probably my favorite, just because he looks like one of the players, but like that dude can coach, man. I told him at the region meeting last year, I was like, I don't care what happens, who makes the team, I don't care. But if he ain't the region coach of the year, then we screwed this up, because they played their freaking tails off for 10
Yeah.
straight games, won
Yeah.
games, competed in games. And I've seen firsthand it's hard. It's hard sometimes at that place, but just
Yeah.
done a heck of a job. But though there's just a bunch of good guys. I love Zedeker at Lincoln. He's one of those people that he's true. He coaches his kids. He loves his kids. Gets his kids to play hard. Um, those guys are just right about high school football. And I
Yeah.
think they do it the right way. I think they're passionate about the best interest of kids, and developing people, and doing it, not just the points on the scoreboard, but sometimes points in life, man. I think
Absolutely.
all of those men do a phenomenal job of that. Just talking to past players that they've had and stuff about them, when you see them, if you're out and about, man, where'd you go to school? Oh, I went to Leeds. Coach Hood. I love Coach Hood. Well, me too, man. So that's the impact those people make, and I'm glad they're in our region. It makes it very, very difficult, but you're going to get everybody's best shot. You're going to face well coached teams, kids that play hard, and that makes Friday night a lot of fun.
Yeah. And so let's see, going into this non-region, help me out if I've got locations off, but it looks like y'all open August 23rd at Asheville.
Thursday night,
Okay. Okay. And then August 30th hosting Fairview.
first night on the turf. I hope
That'll be fun. You cutting it close?
really close.
Really close.
But hey,
Such as life in the summer at a
it
football
is what it
program.
is, brother. It is what it is.
And then a very, very intriguing final game, November 1st, the return at Corner. How'd that
That
game come about? I can't
I'm
imagine how that one came about.
well, it was not me first. It was Jason. Doss did it first. He's my O-line guy when I was there. He's the offensive
Yeah.
coordinator there now. He called, said we need to play, and I was like, yeah, we do. And then but they said I got to have a home game, and I was like, of course you do, of course you do. So we're gonna go over there. That was I've coached at a bunch of places, and I've enjoyed going back to some of them. I haven't got to go back to any of them besides St. Clair, on the opposite sideline. Uh, this one it'll be tough.
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
that was such a good place for me, and we won a bunch of games and had some good memories there. It will definitely be fun to see a lot of people, because I mean I still keep in touch with those guys. They just won the baseball state championship, and Caleb I called, and we kept up with that the whole way through, and just good people, man. Really,
Yeah.
really special place, and I'll be looking forward to that. I'm really excited about Alma Bryant comes up here. I think it's week 4 or 5.
Oh yeah. I
Bart
glossed right
Sessions.
over that.
Bart's been a really good person to me, since I got into coaching. He's always been somebody that answered the phone. And then when him and Simone were living in Birmingham, we were really close with them.
Yeah.
So that's exciting to have them coming back. And I kind of did that for the return the next year. I wanted to do something for the kids we're going to go to the beach. Okay. Like we're going to take a long road trip. Coach Yeager had told me that when he was at Mountain Brook, that, if it's ever a possibility, do it. And
Yeah.
it's good for your kids, get acclimated, understand what a road trip's like, and at the same time, get to get out of school and the band's going. I mean, it's gonna be a big deal for everybody. But I think it's something good for our community, something good for our whole organization. To kind of get out of our comfort zone a little bit. I mean, they're 7A, and it'll definitely be a challenge for sure. But I know him personally, and it will not be one of those where somebody's trying to embarrass somebody or nothing like that. It'll just be good, clean football, and we'll let the chips fall where they fall.
Yeah.
But it's a good schedule.
That is. Yeah. I glossed right past that one. September 13th, Alma Bryant. Yeah, no, that'll be cool. Yeah, and you're right about Coach Yeager because yeah, I know that when we're looking at games, each week me and Kyle and or really it's Kyle, but when he
Yeah.
comes to me with like, hey, here are some games that are on the list for the upcoming week, he'll send me a handful. Which one do you want to cover? And we've already talked about the difficulty of scheduling things once you start having kids. And he
Oh
sends
yeah.
me, like Mountain Brook at Baker, and I'm like, don't think I can drive to Baker tonight. Just
Doesn't look
don't
like
think.
that. That ain't one I can get back from.
No, no. I mean, kid is up by 6 a.m. I ain't going to Baker.
No chance. Sorry.
No chance. So what are some big things? I live right down the road. I'm
Yeah.
I'm closer to. I mean, I'm on that far uh north end of Trustful, so I'm almost into Argo and
Yeah.
obviously Springville right there. What are some big things going on in Springville right now?
Well, the four-way's still getting done. And so that's kind
I,
of,
I've seen it on Facebook. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So somebody, it's going to look really, really good.
Yeah.
But that's going on. The field has begun, and they are making great progress on that. I know they're talking about getting ready to start on the new middle school
Yeah.
over there beside the high school right now. Uh, More houses are being built, which is a great thing. But it's what a great place to live, man.
Mhm.
Just tremendous people here that they know you, they care about you. Some of them want to know more than they need to know about you, but but
Small
they,
town USA,
but
baby.
that's is how it is. But just a tremendous place. My kids love it here. It's a good thing, man.
Yeah.
We got the Arc open now beside the Mapco little restaurant coming, little Pell City
Okay.
bringing it on over here to Springville. So that's
Okay.
go by there and get your
Okay.
little catfish. It won't hurt you.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you go? What's? Oh gosh, I may have to cut this part because I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But farmhouse.
What? Yes, once a week. Anytime, whenever the Philly cheese wrap goes on is the special. I'm
Hey,
there.
hey, my buddy Ryan Zargo owns it. I graduated with him,
I'm gonna
and
name
he
drop.
he is a phenomenal
It's
chef.
unreal. It's
He
unbelievable how good they are.
like I need to just have him on so he can tell his whole story, but
Yeah.
because I don't want to tell it for him. But absolute grinder, Marine Corvette,
Yep.
and I think that's how he got his start. I think he started cooking and learning to
Yeah.
cook there, and he's been at some big time
Yeah.
restaurants around Birmingham and
Yep.
280 Bellini's,
Yep.
and
He's
I've
first class, man.
he
First
is.
class.
I've seen him grind and
Yep.
grind and grind, and his place is fantastic. I don't know how this
Yep.
turned into an ad for
It's
Springville
all good. I
restaurants, but
appreciate it. We'll go eat there next week and make sure that we hyped them up.
there we go.
Enough.
Maybe I'll clip this and text it to him, and maybe he'll maybe give me a little
Yeah.
free gift card or something
Yeah.
like
Clem was
that.
gassing you up, man.
I love it, man. So let me ask you this. What's been the coolest things that have happened? I mean, this is what, going into year 4 at
Yep.
Springville for you?
Yep.
What have been the coolest things you've learned about that community so far?
I would say when we went 1-9, uh, the attitude after that, because I basically had a heart to heart with everybody in the organization, booster club, parents on the outside, administration, kids, leaders that we had coming back. Um, and we went out and basically changed our entire offensive philosophy, uh, put on our hard hats, and went to work and basically challenged anybody and everybody that wanted to come be a part of it. Come on. But this is how we're going to do it. We're going to freaking grind our tails off, and then we're going to go to work, and we're going to let it fall where it falls. And we're going to be proud that we're from Springville, and that's what we're going to do. And the way that the people here rallied around us, pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that, you know, you're getting, now the kids are getting challenged by other people, not just me. There's an expectation, there's a demand, and I think a lot of that goes back to how I started this whole thing. Good players, but great parents, that they force the issue. Like, no, this is what y'all are going to do this. And then when the kids get to school, we got the best principal in the state of Alabama, and I don't care who hears that. Like, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And my boy Mike Turner at Penson's gonna be pissed I just said that, but like, I work for Greg now, Mike, so you can't be mad at me. But Mike's
You're not the first person who said it about Greg, though. Like,
he
I mean,
he is he's
Chris
passionate.
Mills. Chris Mills had reached out to me. This has been a while back when, what was it, Principal of the Year,
Yep,
or something
yep.
like that, and was
State
like,
coach of
"Hey,
the year.
I forget what exactly Chris reached out to me for, but it
Yeah,
was like, we want to make this a big deal
yep.
because
We did.
he is a big deal principal,
He
like,
is
and people
he's
love
the
him."
he's the Tiger Code, and he's passionate about it, and he demands it. And what I love is he demands it from the adults and the kids.
That's it.
And it don't make no bones about it. But that was special. I think if anybody has ever come to Springville during homecoming week, to see our parade and to see the build up to the game, you need to come be a part of that, because it's cool. Like, I mean, it's all day, and it's a pain it painted my tail from time to time. But it's so neat to see our entire town come out for those kids. I mean, it's cheerleaders, it's the band, it's the middle school, it's our trainers, it's everybody, man.
Yeah.
And it's really, really neat. Now, not a lot of people have that. And I try real hard to tell our kids, like, not everybody gets to experience high school like y'all get to. So every day should be a blessing, that you get to come to a place where people care about you and demand that you play at your highest level, and don't accept anything less than that.
That's right.
So I would say that's what makes it pretty awesome around here.
Yeah. I mean, no disrespect to the city I live in, Trustful, but, like, we've got a 4-year-old who, right now, obviously at that age,
Oh,
every time you see a playground, you're stopping.
yep.
If there's a splash pad, where's my swimsuit?
Stopping.
It, if there's like a little, shin high creek, the Crocs are coming off,
Yes.
and you've got all of that right there at the park right there
At
in
the
Springville. And Trustful has a
Yeah.
lot. Trustful has a lot of things, but we get
When
when
it's
we
come
want
for
to go
that.
out, and stuff, it's
Yeah.
Springville,
Yeah.
and
It's a
he
really
loves
special
it
place.
there. And I you're right about games like playoff games or
Yeah.
homecoming and stuff like that. Like, you've got the historic Main Street,
Yeah.
and I love. I'm gonna rattle some people a little bit, because really, really, all we cover is 6A and 7A and a little bit of 5A.
Hmm.
Um, and it's a certain coverage area that's geographical, can't change
Yeah.
it. But I feel like I'm in my sweet spot when I'm covering a 4A, 5A
Yeah.
type thing, because Kyle, I think he ribs me a little bit about stuff like this, but I love bringing in the community aspect when if I'm just covering a game, I'm not just giving you stats, and
Right.
I'm trying to give you story. I'm trying to give you context. I'm trying to point out a scene that I saw, like during the playoffs this last year. Like I jumped at the chance. There could be any. I had my pick. I could go to any of these games I wanted to, really, other than whichever one Kyle was going to.
Right.
And I chose John Carroll at Fairview. I
Yeah.
was like, that's where I want to be. I've never been there. I've never been there. Took a half day off work, left early, took the back roads, cut through like Cleveland,
Yeah.
Alabama, ate
Yeah.
in Cleveland, went to a produce stand, dipped my toes in the Locust Fork River for a minute, and
There you
then
go.
headed out to Fairview, and
Yeah.
made it like a whole like community thing.
Yeah.
And then the game was just kind of icing on the cake.
Right.
And
Right.
I love that kind of thing. And Springville, for me, just geographically, is the closest thing that I have to that, since it's
Yeah.
10 minutes down the street from me, and I
Right.
absolutely love it out there.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. It's I'm so lucky uh, that this is where I live and this is where I work. I mean, I during school time, I bet I don't fill my truck up once every 3 weeks, because I just live right here beside the school. But it's really neat, man. It really is. We're very blessed and very thankful to be here.
Yeah, I'll get you out of here on this.
Oh yeah, you're
What
good.
well, I gotta go pick up the kiddo from
Gotta do
school.
what you gotta do, bro.
You got to do it. But I've asked every coach this. Maybe it's kind of cliche, but I'm asking everybody anyway. Uh, what are you looking forward to most about this fall in particular?
The identity of this year's team. Uh, uh, there's not a Caden Hannerhan. There's not any of that. Uh, so we got to find out what the identity is going to be. Uh, I think we got some pieces there to do it. But my challenge is last year is exactly what it says. It's last year, and that's going to be a challenge for us. Most people would probably tell me like, "Hey, what a great way to set the tone and going into next year and getting excited." Yes, but there's also the human nature of complacency, uh, of hey, we're just going to show up and win. That's not how it goes. That's not how it goes. And I don't care where you're at or what level you're at. Anybody can beat anybody any day. I've been a part of those games. I'll never forget when I was at Charles Henderson, we played Aniana in the state championship game. If you would have watched us do the Walk of Champions and them do the Walk of Champions, it wasn't even close.
Wow.
And they didn't do nothing but just get after our tail for 4 quarters and beat us. And that then was a reminder to me, like anybody can beat anybody. So you better show up with your helmet buckled up, ready to use it, because somebody else is. And I think that's something that I hope we're going to be ready for. We're going to have to be more precise than we have been in the past. But I think we got kids wanting to do it. Got kids that are excited about doing it. We got some coaches that are excited about doing it. So it will be difficult. But at the same time, I think we got a group of kids that are ready for that, that are ready for adversity. And I mean, I'm excited about it. Every year is exciting. But to see this group of seniors, these were ninth graders when I got here. Like they were coming up from middle school. Like I still remember Jake Garner sitting in my office. But it's going to be fun, man. It really is, and it's something I'm looking forward to, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, I look forward to following it as much as I can from
Yeah.
whatever sideline I'm on. Like we I don't know. Like I'm looking at the schedule and I'm like, I might have to wait till the playoffs or something. Maybe we'll see.
We got a couple of Thursday games in there. So I know Asheville's on a Thursday. I think there's another one on a
Okay.
Thursday somewhere.
Let's see.
But
I'm trying to see.
I know the Center
No,
Point game will probably get moved to Thursday.
give it a week. Ooh, I might have to get out to one of those then.
But that'll be a good thing. But yeah, you need to come holler at us, come see the turf, man.
I know. I do. I tell you what, I'll be following that. If one of those gets moved to a Thursday, since Fridays are
Yeah.
a little hectic. But yeah, I'll definitely have to come check one of those out. I'm gonna have me a busy fall. That's what I'm gonna do. So
Well, anytime, man, you call me and we'll get it set up for you, man.
sounds good. Well, I appreciate you, Coach. Thank you for
Yeah.
doing this. I really do
Hey,
appreciate it.
I appreciate what you do for high school athletics, man. You're a really good pioneer for us, man, and putting things out there for the kids. And I know they all look forward to it, and they look forward to seeing what y'all say about them. So I appreciate what y'all do.
Yeah, no, thank you for the kind words. We try hard. We love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you be good, man. Go get those kiddos.
Yeah, I hear you. Thank you.
All right. See you, brother.
See you later.